very excited this afternoon. I've got Daz Fuller in the studio, or the self-formed studio online. So welcome, Daz.
Yeah, thanks very much. Nice to be here.
No, you're an absolute star. And I know you've done a little bit of media work quite recently with your story going on GMTV. Now, I have to say I'm not Susanna Reid, but you're going to have to do with me this afternoon.
Yeah, you're a little bit better than Bill Turnbull, though.
Okay, I'll take that. So, Daz, obviously, we met on a golf course playing, and our sort of friendship has stayed in connection for quite some years. We've had a great round of golf. I was playing in a charity event, and I was blown away by what I was seeing on the golf course. And pardon the pun there, I think that's probably teed it up nicely for you. But if you don't mind, tell the audience your story.
Yeah, so basically as a young lad, left school and decided I was going to join the military and joined the parachute regiment. Spent 20 years in a parachute regiment, deploying operationally around the world about 11 or 12 times, including Northern Ireland, Macedonia, Afghanistan and Iraq, obviously with Afghanistan being the most prominent one in recent history. Unfortunately, on my second tour of Afghanistan, I was involved in a mortar incident, and without going into all the details, it resulted in me becoming a right arm amputee below the elbow. So I went through a couple of years of rehabilitation, and while you're doing that, you soul search. There was initial a bit of becoming lazy. After I'd got through I'm going to survive, you get to hospital and everyone's doing everything for you, and you think, well, I ain't got a right hand anymore. I used to be right-handed. I can do everything. I can't do anything now because it's gone. So you sort of sit there and you're a bit down on all the rest of it, but actually you think you do become lazy in a way, because you're like, well, someone will cook for me, someone will clean me, someone will do this. So you sit there, and actually it was my wife. Well, she's my girlfriend at the time, but wife now, that's a physiotherapist by trade, and she gave me a bit of a kick up the backside, to say, and said, look, there ain't no compost out there that you can put your arm in and it's going to grow back, so you need to get on with it. And I did. I started to look at life as though, well, rather than it's an injury and it's going to finish things, it's a new start. I will get by. I will do what I want to do, just adapting in different ways. So it was the military that led me to where I am to golf today, and obviously the injury that led me into golf, basically.
Yeah, I think you've got to have obviously an open mindset and very, not a closed mindset. I think you spoke there quite amazingly about how you accepted what happened, accepted your fate, and then moved forward. And I suppose the only way I can look at that, and I've had a few things about overcoming my life, but nothing's the extremities of losing an arm. And you hit a bad golf shot, you're in the trees, you're in the woods, and you've got to get out.
Yeah, such a frustrating game. It's like, that's what my arm's like now. So I do everything I need to do, but sometimes missing a limb, if nothing else, becomes frustrating. You want to do something, you can't do it, and that's just like being on the golf course, isn't it? Where you want to do something, you want to hit a good shot, you don't hit the good shot, and it's frustrating as anything. So that's it. So actually, there's a bit of common in there as well. It's frustrating losing an arm, but it's also frustration on the golf course.
Your character, just transcends positivity, and you make the best of it. And there's a lot of good humour. We play golf, and you're just an absolute hoot to play with. So it was fantastic. and your handicap to present right now?
Yeah, so it's 18. So obviously, when I first started, so I didn't play golf previous to injury. I kept meaning to, and never got round to it. And then the wife got me some lessons down at my local golf club. So sort of like forced me to do something that I'd been meaning to do for a couple of years. So I had these lessons, then started going out on the course. And I think actually by not playing golf previous to the injury was actually a really good thing, because I think I'd be even more frustrated or annoyed if I was remembering how I used to be able to play compared to how I play now, and wanting to do stuff the old way. And I only had to learn how to play golf as I was. I didn't have to learn a new way to play golf, which was where it really, I think, has really helped my golf. But yeah, I started off, had the lessons, started at 28, like everybody. It was probably about 48, but obviously they'd only give you 28. So I went out and got thrashed on the golf course quite a lot in my local club, which was Stoke-by-Nayland at the time. I then had some lessons, some more lessons, and I joined Battleback Golf, which I can talk about a bit more in the future, but I do a lot with Battleback Golf that started at Headley Court. So I did a lot with them, and then my handicap started coming down. It went to 24, then to 21, and then actually it took me ages to get from 21 down to 18. I reckon about 3 years to get down to that level. Now I'm 18. Yes, I'd love to be lower, but if I need to get lower than 18, then I need somebody to help me with my maths, because it's so easy, isn't it? Like one shot per hole. I don't know if I want to go below 18 and have to start working out what shot to get, what holes to get shots on.
I could do with a few of those shots these days. So obviously, let's talk a little bit about how the arm works. You've become known as the Bionic man, and obviously you've got one arm that you place on for when you play golf, and another arm, if I'm right thinking, your hand for all the other stuff around the house. Yeah.
So I've got around the house. Luckily recently I was on telly on, like I said, on Good Morning Britain and stuff. I got the Hero arm, which was made by a company called Bionic, based in Bristol, and that's 3D printed myoelectric arm. So it works off the muscles in my stump to open and close it, and has various grip functions like single finger, two finger, full grip, and the wrist manipulates and stuff like that. So that's my everyday arm. That's what I use for everyday activities, and that's absolutely fantastic. It's the best. I've been an amputee for 12 years, and I've tried various prosthetics like that, and that's by far the best that I've come across. I'm so happy to get one, and that's where the Bionic arm, and it was called the Hero arm before a military man got it. It's not anything to do with the military or me having one. Why it's called Hero arm. I don't actually like the word. But
like Manny, you are a hero, Daz. Obviously the NHS. I recently had an operation myself, and got to say a massive thank you to them. And I know you're indebted forevermore, and I know big shout out right now to the NHS. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They're doing a fantastic job right now for everybody, and I've been lucky actually since we get such good service in the military that since I've left for me the NHS has been great. For others it might not be the same, but actually everyone now appreciates them more, which they should have always given them that appreciation really. But you get into your own little. Sometimes it's all about me, and it's not about everyone else. It's about what I want and what I need, and if I'm not getting what I want, then people become frustrated and rather than look at the big picture. But yeah, I've got that one, and then the other arm I've got, which obviously also for the NHS, is I use it for two things now really: driving and golf. So the actual bit that covers my arm, that's the same for both, and it's just an attachment on the end. I put the golf attachment on, or I put my driving attachment on. The driving attachment is just like a socket, like a ball thing, and it sits on it, which is fantastic, and it would also be great for an egg and spoon race for my daughter when she starts school next year, because you turn it up the other way as though you're not driving, and an egg just sits in it perfectly. I'll never lose an egg and spoon race going forward at school when she starts in September, well hopefully. So that's one benefit of that one, apart from the driving. And then after that, the golf one, I started off with a golf grip that I think it was made by a prosthetist or somebody that went, that'll work for golf. And it did, but it wasn't the best. After a few years, and when I met you, I'd just gone to the Trotman grip, which is produced in America, I believe. And it was very similar, but different. It's like a dovetail grip, and it slides up the club. Now this attachment was made by a golfer. I think lost the limb himself. So it was made for a prosthetic made for golf by a golfer. So it works so much better than what I first had. And like I said, it just slips up a club all the way to the top, like a dovetail grip, goes up onto the grip, and it actually allows me to play like a normal right-handed player, basically, like a two-handed right-handed player that normally plays.
As you know, performance coach, and obviously always looking and analysing golf swings, and yeah, I find it fascinating. I mean, there's a lot of biomechanics that goes into the right movement patterning, and obviously it's a science. But right now, do you put your development down to more mental or physical stuff that you can do to improve your golf?
I think right now, physically, I think there's not a lot more. I mean, obviously, I could be a little bit fitter, maybe go to the gym more. Everybody could do that, but then you want to go to the gym and other things take over, and you don't get there as much. But physically, I think there's not much more I could do other than to probably help me hit the ball a little bit further by having a bit bigger muscles or something. But other than that, technically, yeah, there's always room for improvement there. But the biggest thing for me is the mental aspect of it, is that I need to realise that when I hit a bad shot, that everybody hits a bad shot. I think I'll walk out onto that course thinking I'm Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy. And it takes a lot to get over the fact to realise that actually I'm not. And if I hit the shot I want to hit every time, I probably would be playing with them. But but I'm not playing with the likes of them. So the mental aspect of the game is the biggest one for me, because it's the hardest one to fix.
Definitely. And I've certainly had my team around.
So
what's the weather like? Apologies if you can hear a little bit of the patter of the rain coming down, but it's raining up north, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, it's not the best. It's been lovely for about a week and a half. Yesterday was a little windy, but still sunny. Today we've not got any rain at the minute in Colchester, but we're a bit overcast, and not so much of a nice day. But I've got a summer house down at the bottom of my garden, so I can still get out and sit down there. I've turned it into a bar, so I don't mind going down there.
We're all having a few too many beers. Can you just picture this, imagine this, as soon as they open up the golf courses and the pubs, right, it's just going to be a flop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm hoping that golf courses, the actual course itself, might be one of the first things to reopen, because it was one of the last to shut. So, and actually, the clubhouse is still shut and all the rest of it. And they relaxed the rules slightly. There may be, working as keeping social distancing within ourselves, we might be able to get back on the course sooner rather than later. Well, that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm planning on happening. My garden can't take much more, otherwise there'll be, divots all over the place. At least on a golf course, have a bloke who goes round afterwards and fixes the divots. I have to do it myself in the garden.
Not one thing I want to brag about here, but social distancing, I've always liked to bomb it a long way ahead of people, and that's already. But anyway, just a quick fire questions for you, just to wrap up. So, why is golf so good for you, do you think, and what's it done for you? And obviously with your charity as well.
So golf has done loads for me. It actually, there wasn't many other sports that I thought I could do, even though I'd never golfed before. It's allowed me to play a game competitive because of the handicap system. It's the only sport I can really play competitively where my disability, if you want to call it that, doesn't matter. That handicap system takes that away, and we all walk on that course on an equal footing. The charity side of it's great because I do the Battle Back Golf, which started at Headley Court, and there's loads of us. We're all injured ex-servicemen and women that do it. We go around the country playing different clubs. They support us with funds, and we have competitive games of golf, and that just allows me to see the country, get out there and meet new people, and do what golf's supposed to do, bring people together from different communities, and doing everything. And actually, that's the main thing for me, is it just that I can do a competitive sport, I can travel around the world doing it and meeting new people, basically. And I'm not any different to anyone on that golf course, whether I'm missing an arm or not.
Absolutely. Who's your favourite golfer?
Ian Poulter. And he better win a major soon, because I put a bet on him to win a major this year. So it looks like the only chance he's going to have is the Masters, but in November. But yeah, Ian Poulter.
Who knows in November? So all being well, I'm there. I've got the flight. So yeah.
Well, I hope it goes ahead.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Who's the best golfer you've ever played with?
I don't know.
Well, I'm really disappointed that you didn't say me, but yeah.
Well, the reason it's taken me so long to answer is because I'm sitting here trying to think of someone that's not you. I didn't want to just say, well, you're probably that in golf wise, it probably was the round I had with you in terms of golf and technical golfer and.
You weren't supposed to say that, Daz. You're supposed to say, someone else.
Well, no, the best. Other than that, I will. The bloke I had the best time with, one of the best times, and he was a really good golfer actually, is Ross Bray, who's the darts, referee or the numbers reads out the numbers. Ross Bray, he was a brilliant golfer considering he doesn't play it that much when he gets a chance, but he's also such a funny man. Yeah. Such a funny man.
And lastly, the worst thing you've ever, either the worst shot or the worst thing you've ever seen on a golf course?
The worst thing I've ever seen on a golf course? Wow. Probably about 10 shots of my own every time I go out. They're probably like one of the worst times. But the worst thing I think I've seen was a bloke actually put his golf clubs and his golf trolley to one side, as he goes up to see his shot, not pushing the stop button properly, and every single bit went straight into the water. But the whole trolley, the golf club, his wallet, his phone, everything was inside this thing, and it literally put it to one side, went up to play his shot, turned away to put it back, and then everyone else is there like watching it go into the water. It's horrible, isn't it? Nobody wants to stop it because everybody wants to laugh. So it just went into the water. And that was probably one of the worst things because I knew how much these clubs cost.
Was it played well, or was it a bad day anyway?
It was right at the start of the day, but it didn't help the rest of the day, put it that way.
Well, that's wicked, buddy. I really, really appreciate it. And as I say, I think that just transcends a real vibe of positivity out there. And onwards and upwards and fight on regardless, eh? Yeah,
exactly. I expect to meet you soon and you to take me, because of my maths, like I mentioned earlier on, then obviously the step I need to go is 18 to 0. So obviously you need to turn me to 0.
We'll be making that happen very, very soon. You're an absolute star. And as I say, any last pointers to the viewers or the listeners?
All I would like to say is, we spoke about various things and had a bit of humour, but realistically, if there's anyone watching or anything like that that's not a golfer that's thinking of getting into it, it will do so much for you. Whether no matter who you are, no matter what you are, the exercise aspect, the meeting new people, and get out there and play golf. That's all I'd say is get out there and do it. And if anyone ever wants any pointers on how to play golf or anything, just don't come to me.
Daz Fuller, that's a wrap. You've been plugged by Double M. All right. Excellent. Take care. See you soon.
Cheers, Mark.